Stop for a second and ask yourself, are you living the life you were born to live, or are you settling for less because it's comfortable? Every day you wait, every excuse you make, every fear you let control you is stealing your future. What if I told you that in this moment, you have the power to completely change your life, to break free from the things that hold you back, to step into your true potential, to build a life so extraordinary your future self will look back and thank you? It all starts here, it all starts now, and it all starts with one decision. You're done letting life happen to you, and you're ready to make it happen for you. You see, the moment you stop pointing fingers, the moment you stop blaming everyone else for where you are, that's when your life begins to shift. Right now, look at your life, your circumstances, and ask yourself, is this the life I want? And here's the thing, if it's not, no one else is going to fix it for you. Nobody's coming with a magic wand. Nobody's going to step in and say, here, I'll make your dreams come true. That responsibility, that power, it lives in you, and it's yours to claim. Now, I want you to breathe in that truth, because it can feel heavy at first. Owning your life, owning every choice you've made, it's scary, it's uncomfortable. But the alternative is even scarier. You keep living as a passenger in your own story, letting circumstances, other people's decisions, luck, or misfortune dictate the direction of your life. And deep down, you know that's not why you were born. You were born to lead your life, to create it, to shape it, to take control. Imagine for a second that every outcome in your life, every situation, every success, and every failure is a reflection of your choices. Yes, even the challenges, even the setbacks, they are there to teach you, to guide you, to show you where you need to grow. And when you take responsibility, you stop being a victim. You stop whining about what happened yesterday, about what someone else did, about how life isn't fair. You step into the driver's seat, and suddenly, every problem becomes a puzzle you get to solve. Every setback becomes fuel. Every obstacle becomes an opportunity to grow stronger, smarter, more resilient. You have to understand this. Life rewards the people who own it. Not just a little, not halfway, fully. There's no half-hearted responsibility. You can't pick and choose when you're responsible and when you're not. You don't get to say, I'll own this part, but not that part. That's a lie you tell yourself, and it's killing your potential. You have to claim it all. Every choice, every thought, every action. Because the moment you do, you realize something incredible. Your life isn't happening to you, it's happening because of you. And when that realization hits, it's liberating. You stop waiting for permission. You stop hoping for a break. You start creating. You start making decisions with confidence, because now everything is in your hands. Every action you take has power. Every thought you nurture has consequences. And every day, you're either moving toward the life you dream of, or you're moving away from it. There is no standing still. This is where people fail. They want the results, but not the responsibility. They want the success, but they want it handed to them. They want someone else to fix it. But the truth is, the people who change their lives, the people who achieve extraordinary things, they don't wait. They don't complain. They don't blame. They step up and they own it fully, completely, without excuse. And here's the beauty. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to start, and you have to keep going. So today, right now, I want you to make a decision. Decide that no matter what has happened in your past, no matter what people have said, no matter how many times you've failed, from this moment forward, you will take responsibility for your life. You will own your choices, your results, your happiness, your destiny. And when you do that, the energy that's been trapped in blaming and excuses, in waiting, that energy transforms. It becomes momentum. Momentum that will carry you forward faster than you ever imagined. And the best part, when you take responsibility, you don't just fix your life, you empower yourself. You become unstoppable. You know, one of the most overlooked secrets in life, one of the things that separates people who stay stuck from people who break through and create extraordinary results, is the voice inside your own head. That little voice, the one that talks to you all day long, that whispers, that criticizes, that doubts, that says, you can't, or it's too hard, or maybe someone else is better. That voice is controlling more of your life than you realize. And the crazy part is, Most people don't even notice it. Think, oh, I'm just thinking. But your thoughts are not just thoughts, they are seeds. Seeds that grow into actions. Seeds that grow into habits. Seeds that grow into your reality. Now listen carefully if you want to change your life. You have to change that inner dialogue. You have to start talking to yourself the way you would talk to someone you deeply love and care about. Because if you won't speak to yourself with encouragement, if you won't give yourself permission to succeed, who will? Life responds to the way you talk to yourself. Your mind is like a radio and it's always broadcasting. If it's broadcasting fear, doubt, negativity, guess what? That's what you hear and that's what you act on. If it's broadcasting strength, confidence, possibility, that's what shapes your actions and ultimately your results. And here's the thing, this isn't just about repeating positive affirmations like a mantra. It's deeper than that. It's about catching yourself in real time when the negativity creeps in. When you hear that, I can't, or I'm not good enough, you interrupt it immediately. You don't let it run the show. You don't let it control your emotions, your decisions, your energy. You say, no, that's not true. That's not who I am. I am capable. I am strong. I am ready. And you mean it. You feel it in your body.
Yeah.
You let your mind and your body align on what you want, not on what you fear. Think about this. Most people are walking around letting a critic live rent free in their heads. That critic tells them they're too old, too young, too inexperienced, too weak, too broke, too busy, and they believe it. And because they believe it, their actions match it and their results prove it. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. But here's the power when you change your inner dialogue, everything changes. You start seeing opportunities where before you only saw obstacles. You start taking risks you used to avoid. You start believing in your ability to grow, to adapt, to achieve, to win. Your inner dialogue also shapes your emotions. Every time you talk negatively to yourself, you drain your energy. You feel small. You feel powerless. But every time you speak with encouragement, you spark energy. You ignite confidence. You step into a state where your body, your mind, and your spirit are aligned. You become unstoppable. And this doesn't happen magically. You have to train your mind. You have to practice. You have to catch yourself, correct yourself, and reinforce the new story you're creating about yourself. And here's the kicker. This is contagious. The way you speak to yourself affects the way you interact with the world. When you have a strong, positive inner dialogue, it changes how you see challenges, how you respond to people, how you make decisions. Your energy rises and suddenly people notice. Opportunities show up that never existed before because your vibration, your mindset, your internal story is aligned with action, with growth, with success. So start listening to the voice inside your head. Really listen. Notice what it's saying, and then start rewriting it. Every thought, every sentence, every word you tell yourself matters. If you don't, someone else will write the story of your life for you. And when you finally take control of your inner dialogue, when you finally speak to yourself with power, encouragement, and belief, you start living a life that matches the greatness you've always dreamed of. You know, most people drift through life without a real destination. They wake up, go through the motions, and then wonder why they feel stuck, frustrated, or unfulfilled. And here's the truth, if you don't know where you're going, you'll end up anywhere. Life isn't random, but your results can feel random if you don't have a clear target. Goals aren't just nice ideas, they're a blueprint for action. They're a roadmap that tells your brain, your body, your heart what to focus on, what to prioritize, what to invest your energy in. And if you don't have them, everything else becomes noise, distractions, endless motion without progress. So here's the first thing I want you to understand. Clarity is power. The moment you get clear about what you really want, your energy shifts. You start noticing opportunities that were invisible before. You start making decisions faster because you have a reference point. You stop wasting time on things that don't matter, and you start moving with purpose. And it doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need a 10-step plan. You just need a clear, specific outcome. I want you to ask yourself, if everything in my life today was stripped away and I could create the life I truly desire, what would it look like? Write it down. Speak it out loud. Feel it in your body. Now, here's where most people fail. They set vague goals. I want to be successful. I want to be happy. I want more money. That's not enough. Success is not a concept, it's a set of results. Happiness is not vague, it's a combination of experiences, relationships, growth. Money is not just a number, it represents freedom, opportunities, impact. You have to define it. You have to get specific. The more specific, the more measurable, the more actionable your goals, the more likely you are to achieve them. Clarity creates focus, and focus creates results. And don't stop at writing it down. See it, visualize it, feel it. Close your eyes and imagine the life you're building. Picture yourself waking up every morning with purpose, with passion, with energy. Imagine the doors opening, the people supporting you, the opportunities aligning. That's not fantasy, that's a training exercise for your brain. The brain can't tell the difference between what's vividly imagined and what's real. And when you rehearse your goals, when you see them, when you feel them, you train your mind to recognize, attract, and create the circumstances needed to achieve them. Another critical piece, commitment. Setting a goal is meaningless if you don't commit fully. Half-hearted goals produce half-hearted results. You can't wish for something and then hesitate when it comes time to act. You can't hope for success while clinging to old habits, old excuses, old fears. You have to declare, I'm going to this goal and nothing will stop me. Not setbacks, not criticism, not doubt, not fear. Commitment is a signal to the universe, to your mind, to your body, that you're serious, that you're ready, that you're unstoppable. And here's the magic: once your goals are clear, everything changes. You no longer drift, you move. You no longer wonder, you act. You no longer wait, you create. Your energy shifts from reaction to action. You become strategic, intentional, powerful. Obstacles become challenges you can solve. Doubts become data you can learn from. And every small step, every consistent action compounds into results you can see, feel, and celebrate. Remember, the difference between a life of mediocrity and a life of fulfillment isn't talent, isn't luck, it's clarity. It's the decision to define exactly what you want and then relentlessly pursue it. It's the courage to commit. It's the discipline to take action every single day, no matter what. And when you finally embrace the power of clear goals, you don't just set your life on fire, you ignite your potential in ways you never imagined. Let me tell you something that most people will never understand. Success is not a single action. It's not one brilliant decision, one lucky break, or one inspirational speech that changes your life. It's what you do every single day, over and over again, consistently, that creates the life you live. Habits are the building blocks of everything. Your wealth, your health, your relationships, your mindset. They're all the results of your habits. And the scary part is most people are completely unaware of the habits that are controlling them. They go through life reacting, letting unconscious behaviors run the show, and wondering why they can't get ahead. Now here's the truth. You can't change your life without changing your habits. And it doesn't matter how motivated you are, how inspired you feel, or how badly you want something. Motivation is fleeting. Inspiration comes and goes. But habits compound. They work silently behind the scenes, shaping your energy, your mindset, your actions, your results. One small habit repeated consistently is like planting a seed every day. Water it, nurture it, give it time, and it grows into a tree so strong that storms cannot shake it. And the same is true for bad habits. They grow too, and they quietly sabotage your life if you don't notice them. So here's what you have to do. You have to become conscious of your habits. You have to see which ones are helping you and which ones are holding you back. And then you have to make a decision. Decide which habits you want to keep, which ones you want to eliminate, and which ones you want to create. And here's the thing, creating new habits isn't about willpower alone. Willpower is limited. It's like a muscle that gets tired if you overuse it. Habits are created through structure, through repetition, through triggers and rewards that guide your behavior automatically. You design your environment so that the right choices become the easy choices and the wrong choices become harder to make. You make success effortless for yourself, not a constant battle against resistance. And listen to me, habits aren't glamorous. They're not about sudden breakthroughs or dramatic transformations. They're about small, consistent steps. Brush your teeth, make your bed, read 10 pages a day, exercise for 10 minutes, save a little money, reach out to someone, practice gratitude. Those little actions repeated consistently, compound into results you never thought possible. It's the simple actions done daily that separate the people who live extraordinary lives from the people who drift through mediocrity. Here's the other secret: habits shape your identity. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your habits. If you want to be healthy, you have to become the type of person who exercises, who eats well, who prioritizes energy and vitality. If you want to be wealthy, you have to become the type of person who invests, who learns, who takes calculated risks. If you want to be confident, you have to become the type of person who speaks up, who takes action, who faces fear. Your habits tell your mind who you are, and your mind responds by aligning your actions with that identity. And here's the powerful part: you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to get it right every time. Habits aren't about perfection, they're about persistence. You fall, you get back up, you repeat, you improve. The momentum comes from consistency, not from perfection. The results come from the compounding effect of small, intentional actions taken day after day. And when you finally embrace the power of habits, you're no longer dependent on motivation, inspiration, or luck. You create a system that produces results automatically. You create a life that matches the vision you've always dreamed of. Fear. Everyone has it. Every single person on this planet has it. And here's the truth: you're not broken for feeling it. Fear is a signal, a message from your mind, a warning that you're stepping out of your comfort zone. But most people treat fear like the enemy. They try to avoid it, hide from it, distract themselves from it, and as a result, they live small. They settle. They let life pass them by. But here's the reality: fear is where growth lives. Fear is the doorway to your potential. Fear is not meant to stop you, it's meant to guide you. And the moment you step through it, everything changes. Now think about this: everything you want, every goal, every dream, every level of success you desire lies on the other side of fear. And it's uncomfortable, it's risky, it's uncertain, and that's why most people never get there. They see the possibility, they feel the desire, and then they freeze. They listen to that little voice in their head that says, what if I fail? What if it's too hard? What if I'm not ready? And they let that voice control them. But not you. Not anymore. Not when you understand that fear is not a stop sign, it's a green light. It's an invitation to grow, to expand, to push past the limits you've imposed on yourself. Here's how you take action. First, acknowledge your fear. Don't fight it, don't deny it, don't pretend it's not there. Feel it. Look it in the eye. Say, I see you, I feel you, and I'm going forward anyway. Because courage isn't the absence of fear. Courage is moving forward in spite of it. And here's the secret: every time you step into fear, every time you do what scares you, your confidence grows. Your power grows, your life expands. Fear loses its grip on you because you've decided that your dreams are bigger than your excuses, bigger than your doubts, bigger than your comfort zone. And let me tell you, fear is like a muscle. The more you face it, the stronger you get. The more you confront it, the smaller it becomes. It's like a shadow. You shine your light on it, and suddenly it has no power over you. And it's not just the big fears, the dramatic ones that make headlines in your mind. It's the small fears: the fear of rejection, the fear of embarrassment, the fear of failure, the fear of standing alone, that slowly shape the trajectory of your life. When you confront those, when you face them head on, you start living life on your own terms, not dictated by what might go wrong, but guided by what could go right. Here's the thing: most people wait for the perfect moment, for the perfect conditions, for the perfect plan. But here's a truth that will change everything: there is no perfect moment. There is no perfect plan. Action creates clarity. Courage creates confidence. You step into fear, you take the first small action, and suddenly the world responds. You start seeing doors open, opportunities appear, people show up in ways you didn't expect. And every time you do it again, fear becomes less intimidating. You learn that failure is just feedback, that discomfort is growth, that risk is the path to reward. And here's why this is life-changing: when you face your fears consistently, you stop being a victim of circumstance. You stop waiting for life to hand you opportunity. You stop shrinking to fit into someone else's comfort zone. You start creating your reality. You start living intentionally. You step into a new level of confidence, a new level of power, a new level of freedom that most people will never experience because they refuse to walk through fear. So I want you to feel it right now, the fear that has held you back, the hesitation that has kept you from stepping fully into your life. And I want you to make a choice that says, I am bigger than my fear, I am stronger than my doubts, I am stepping forward and nothing will stop me. Because the moment you do, you begin to live a life you once only dreamed of. You have to understand this. Your life is the average of the people you spend the most time with. Every single word, every habit, every belief, every energy you absorb, it comes from the people around you. And here's the truth. If you want to level up, if you want to create a life of extraordinary results, you cannot do it alone. You cannot do it surrounded by people who doubt you, who complain constantly, who settle for mediocrity, who drain your energy without giving anything back. You cannot do it when your environment is filled with noise that tells you to shrink, to wait to be small. Your success is a reflection of your associations, and that is something too many people ignore. Now I want you to think about this for a moment. What if every single person you were around started lifting you higher every day? What if the people closest to you challenged you to grow, inspired you to act, encouraged you to take risks, and celebrated your wins as if they were their own? That's the kind of environment winners create for themselves. That's the energy that fuels massive action, that creates momentum, that pushes you through fear, doubt, and uncertainty. You see, energy is contagious. Motivation is contagious. Confidence is contagious. And so is mediocrity, weakness, and fear. And let me be clear, this isn't just about friends. It's about mentors. It's about role models. It's about communities. It's about anyone who you allow to influence your thoughts and decisions. The people you spend hours with are shaping the decisions you make, the level of risk you're willing to take, the habits you form, the mindset you carry. If you surround yourself with people who complain, who make excuses, who accept less than they deserve, guess what? You'll start adopting those patterns unconsciously. But if you surround yourself with people who dream big, who act boldly, who take responsibility, who refuse to settle, guess what happens? You start becoming one of them without even realizing it. Here's the kicker. Sometimes you have to make hard choices. Sometimes you have to let go of people you love, people you've known for years, because they are holding you back. And that's not cruel, it's not selfish, it's necessary. You have to protect your energy, your focus, your trajectory. Because the truth is, if you stay in a toxic environment, if you keep absorbing negative energy, it will sabotage your progress. And you can't build the life you want surrounded by people who aren't willing to step up, who aren't willing to grow, who aren't willing to elevate themselves, because they will pull you down every time you try to rise. And here's the beauty. When you intentionally surround yourself with winners, something magical happens. Your standards rise, your mindset expands, your vision gets bigger. You start seeing opportunities you never noticed before. You start believing in yourself at a higher level because the people around you believe it for you until you see it for yourself. You start taking actions you never thought possible because you've been in the company of people who act without hesitation, who take risks, who do what's uncomfortable, who face their fears, and who push you to do the same. And don't underestimate the power of shared accountability. When you're around winners, failure becomes temporary, challenges become puzzles to solve, and success becomes inevitable. You start noticing patterns, strategies, insights, and energy that you could never get alone. You start being held to a higher standard, and that standard slowly becomes your new normal. You start becoming a person worthy of your dreams. So today, I want you to take a hard look at your inner circle. Look at the people you spend most of your time with. Ask yourself honestly, are they lifting me higher or pulling me down? Are they challenging me, inspiring me, motivating me, or keeping me small? And then make the choice to surround yourself with people who bring out your best, who inspire your growth, who elevate your energy, who make you believe that bigger, better, bolder is not just possible, it's inevitable. Here's a truth that most people ignore, and it's holding them back from living a life of freedom, power, and results. You spend so much of your energy worrying about things you cannot control, what other people think, the economy, the weather, traffic, past mistakes. the decisions of others, and all of that does is drain your energy, distract your focus, and keep you stuck. And here's the thing, you cannot change any of that. You cannot control it. You can influence some things, maybe, but you cannot control it. And yet, most people act like they can, like their happiness, their success, their peace of mind depends on forces outside themselves. And that's why they feel powerless. That's why they feel frustrated. That's why they feel like life is unfair. Now listen to me, real power, comes from focusing on what you can control. Your thoughts, your decisions, your actions, your effort, your attitude, your habits. That's it. That's all. Everything else is a distraction, a waste of your most precious resource, your energy. And when you start putting 100% of your focus on what you can control, you start moving in a completely different way. You start creating momentum. You start building confidence. You stop wasting time and energy on things that will never serve you and start investing in things that actually move you forward. Think about it for a moment. What if you stopped complaining about the economy, stopped worrying about what other people think, stopped rehashing past mistakes, stopped fearing the future, and instead put all that energy into what you can do today, right now, to move your life forward? Imagine how unstoppable you would become. Every decision, every action, every thought aligned with what you can control creates leverage, and leverage compounds into results faster than you ever imagined. You stop feeling like a victim. You stop feeling like life is happening to you. And you start feeling like life is happening because of you. And here's the secret: control is not about perfection. It's not about micromanaging every detail of your life. It's about knowing what matters, taking responsibility for what matters, and letting go of what doesn't. It's about choosing where to place your energy and refusing to give it to things outside your influence. Because here's the truth: every moment you spend on what you can't control is a moment stolen from what you can. And the small decisions you make every day, consistently applied, become the compound interest of success, growth, and fulfillment. Another key point: you can't control the outcome of everything, but you can control how you respond. That's where your power lies. You can't always change the circumstances, but you can change your response. You can choose resilience over despair, action over procrastination, learning over complaining, growth over fear. And every time you make that choice, you reinforce your control, you reinforce your power, you reinforce your ability to create the life you desire. And don't underestimate how freeing this is. The moment you stop trying to control what you cannot, you release the stress, the anxiety, the overwhelm. You reclaim your energy, you reclaim your focus, you reclaim your time. And when your energy is fully devoted to what you can control, you start creating results that seem impossible to those who are still wasting energy on what they cannot. You start moving faster. You start seeing possibilities everywhere. You start feeling unstoppable because your life is no longer dictated by luck, circumstance, or other people. It is dictated by your choices, your focus, your action, your responsibility. So today I want you to ask yourself honestly, where am I giving my energy to things I cannot control? And where can I redirect that energy into what I can control? And the moment you start doing that consistently, your momentum shifts, your confidence skyrockets, and the life you've been dreaming about becomes not just possible, but inevitable. Listen to me carefully. Knowledge alone will never change your life. Inspiration alone will never change your life. Dreams alone will never change your life. All the books you read, all the seminars you attend, all the ideas you have, none of it matters unless you take action. And not just any action, massive, consistent, relentless action. Action that keeps moving forward, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it. Because here's the truth: success isn't about planning perfectly. Success isn't about waiting for the right moment. Success is about showing up every single day and doing what needs to be done. No excuses, no hesitation. Now, most people think action is easy. They think, I'll start tomorrow, I'll take the first step, next week I'll figure it out later. And what happens? Nothing. Nothing changes. The dreams stay dreams. The life stays the same. And the worst part is, they blame themselves, they blame others, they blame circumstances. But the truth is, all it takes is action. Small steps, yes, but consistently applied, compounded over time, create results that seem impossible to those who are stuck in planning mode, stuck in fear, stuck waiting. Here's the power of massive action. You learn faster, you grow faster, you see results faster. Knowledge is useless without execution. Ideas are useless without implementation. And the more action you take, the more momentum you build. Momentum is like a snowball. It starts small, but as it rolls, it picks up speed, it picks up size, it picks up energy, and soon nothing can stop it. And every time you take action, you gain clarity. You learn what works, what doesn't, what to adjust, and what to double down on. Action creates feedback, and feedback creates improvement, and improvement creates results, and results create confidence, and confidence creates more action, and it becomes a cycle that propels you forward faster than anything else. But here's the thing, massive action requires courage. It requires discipline. It requires pushing through resistance, pushing through fear, pushing through doubt. Every successful person you admire, every life you look at and think is easy or lucky, they got there because they took massive action over and over again. In the face of uncertainty, they acted when it was uncomfortable. They acted when they didn't feel ready. They acted when everyone else was hesitating, complaining, procrastinating, doubting. And that's what separates ordinary people from extraordinary people, the willingness to act, and to act consistently. Consistency is the secret ingredient. You don't just take one massive action and wait for the results to magically appear. You take massive action every day. You show up with purpose, with energy, with focus, with intensity. You create a routine, a system, a momentum machine that carries you forward, and suddenly, the results that seemed impossible become inevitable. The small choices, the small efforts, the repeated steps compound, and before you know it, you're living a life you once only dreamed about. And here's another truth: action builds confidence. You cannot think your way to courage. You cannot plan your way to confidence. You must act. The first step feels scary. The first step feels uncertain. The first step feels uncomfortable. But the moment you take it, a spark lights inside you. You see, I can do this. I am capable. I am powerful. And every step after that becomes easier, bolder, stronger. Action breeds momentum. Momentum breeds results. Results breed belief. Belief breeds massive action. And the cycle continues unstoppable. So today, I want you to commit to taking consistent massive action in every area of your life that matters. Don't wait, don't hesitate, don't hope. Act. Take action even when you're afraid, even when you're tired, even when the path isn't clear, even when everyone else is doubting. The more action you take, the faster you learn, the faster you grow, the faster you achieve, and the faster you create a life that matches your potential, your dreams, your vision, and your destiny. And here's the truth I want you to take with you today. Your life is not something that happens to you. It is something you create. Every choice you make, every thought you nurture, every action you take, every habit you build, it's shaping the life you live. You have more power than you realize. You have more strength than you know. And you have more potential than you've ever allowed yourself to see. So don't wait for permission. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for someone else to hand it to you. Step into your responsibility. Speak to yourself with belief. Set clear goals. Build powerful habits. Face your fears. Surround yourself with winners. Focus on what you can control. And take consistent, massive action every single day. Because the life you dream about, the life you've imagined when no one was watching, is not impossible. It's waiting for you to claim it. And the moment you decide, the moment you act, the moment you refuse to settle, everything changes. Your future self is already thanking you for the courage, the choices, and the actions you take today. So go create it, go live it, and go be unstoppable.